So I'm going to repeat what I've just said. So hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the stream. It's your ever lovely host and somewhat quiet, uh, intellectual, Harley Startled. And yes, many of you will be thinking, when will this end? And the answer is, as soon as I'm carried to the finish, basically. And of course, on Sunday when we've got Strategy Sunday. So what we're doing Strategy Sunday, I think I'm going to buy Desperados 3, I think the latest Desperados, and we are going to push through that and get that done. Well, actually not done, we'll play parts of it, because of course with Strategy Sunday we've got such a limited amount of time to actually get things, to finish those games. It's more of just a taster, my sort of opinion on the game, and whether or not I would recommend it. So far we have done Unity of Command, which of course I have massively recommended if you're into turn-based strategy games, because of course of that added logistics system, but adds a whole lot of new depth. We've had Grand Tactician, a game which, even though it is early access, I do recommend if you are willing to take the risk. And we played War on the Sea. I would say it was okay. It was a big step forward from the Battle of the Atlantic, but needed more polish, needed more details, and is more for people who want that naval strategy. In terms of general strategy, I would skip. What else? Okay, and we played what do you call it? The Great War Grand. What was it called? I can't remember, but there was a Great War 1, which again I've verdantly enjoyed, but ran out of time to finish as well, and we lost that last campaign. Unfortunately, I was the Austrians, and Germany collapsed against the might of the French and the British. I think the issue with that level, or the issue with my strategy there, is that you've got to realise that when the AI puts units on your front line, it is saying to you, I'm taking over and move your troops off. So what you do is you take your units and shift them. And shift them off to a different part of the front. So that's what I did. I shifted off my Austrian troops, shifted them off onto Italy, and allowed the German AI to do its thing. What else? But yeah, so far, and of course we've been playing Hoi 4. Sadly, Hoi 4 has sort of come to a dragging halt. Normally, because I'll come off work on Friday, wait for an hour just to find a game, and either hackers destroy the game, or a game never takes off. And of course, you've seen with my previous trauma on meme games or non-rule games, they are a den of iniquity in terms of hug boxes, clans, or communities that basically use the random players as fodder. Of course, you can have fun, and not all meme games, but I had too many traumatizing events, too many traumatizing games where it was just me against the world, or everyone formed this global UN, because quite ironically in meme games, it seems that players don't want to go to war, which is quite funny, really. If you look at it, a game about war, but every player trying to avoid peace. And they'll join the largest side because that's the highest odds of success, which is not particularly historically accurate. But you can't really blame players for that. No one wants to play a losing game. But it put me off massively. I think the point in the Hoi 4 meme game, which really sort of sealed its fate for me, was when I was playing as the Soviet Union, building for a 1939 war, or building for a 1940 war. So I was building early, and the entirety of Europe went European Union, and guaranteed every nation around me, meaning that of course I could not get out of my debuffs, and it was a case of either wait for them to grow strong and to delete me with the combined force of France, Austria, Italy, Spain, United Kingdom, you name it, Turkey, every single nation in the game apart from the USA and Turkey and Japan, no, USA and Brazil, or go to war early, know you're going to lose, but at least end the game so you're finished with it. And I just chose the latter. But I think I actually ended up getting banned from that game because the UK host got invaded by Italy and lost, and so he actually failed. He actually capitulated before I did, which was quite funny. But unfortunately, they kicked me from that Discord, so I won't be playing that again. But yeah, I'm not sure what I would play if I was to play his game again as a multiplayer. Bulgaria's sort of been done to death now. Bulgaria is you know what my build is for Bulgaria. I could vary it a bit, but again, in these historical games, there's only so much variation you're allowed to do by the host. I could try a light tank Bulgaria. I could try an anti-tank Bulgaria, maybe a super heavy tank Bulgaria, but unfortunately, I think everyone's sick and tired of Bulgaria, if I'm honest with you. So we will probably move to either Spain, but I am scared of losing horribly to Spain. It's unlikely, especially if you just do the mountain defense and get hold of Aragon. But there's always a possibility, especially if someone knows you're streaming and they try hard and the rest of your team's not all there. Could try Japan, but again, Japan's not difficult, so to speak. But I think I could do a Japan, because I could try Japan. I could try doing a navy, because Japan is actually a good nation to play if you're still trying to build up. No one really expects a lot from Japan, and it covers pretty much every sort of aspect of the game. It covers naval warfare, it covers air warfare, and of course it covers land warfare. And so with Japan, you are given you have to play with a lot of tools to succeed, and those tools transfer over to other nations like the UK, USA, and so on. So I could try Japan build depending on the rules. I probably would be able to knock out a player China if there was rules on land lease and there was rules on volunteers. I would not be able to knock out say a volunteer China with like Soviet light tanks, because that's just cancer. What about? Of course, we could do Manchu. We could also do a player be a miners Manchu and help out the Japanese. But I would struggle with Japan because it would be my first time playing Japan in a non-meme historical game, and I think the first time would be disastrous. But the other games, perhaps. But afterwards, I would probably build up my experience. But then again, no one really expects a lot from the Japan. In fact, most Japans achieve very little. Either they get ignored or early capitulated because the Allies put everything into beating up Japan. However, we'll see. I am worried though, because there's a lot of things a USA can do to screw up a Japan. Whether if you're trying to be a naval Japan to invade the rubber islands, then of course the US Japan can just the US player can just spam submarines, and that will screw up your build if you build tall as a navy. But if you build light as a navy, and you build say anti-sub destroyers, etc., then you're going to struggle against a US player that actually builds a strong battleships force. And so what my theory would be, perhaps I would not go heavy into my navy, just go light destroyers, anti-sub warfare, but then go heavy into say naval bombers, fighters. So I just put naval bombers around the map and create this sort of naval bombing web where the US players begin to gradually lose ships, and that way I'll be able to counteract his excessive amount of ships. But I also think the meta of going to war in mid-1941 Japan is probably counterintuitive, because by that stage all the allies normally build up for that sort of stage in early 1941 to stop your invasions. I think I saw the most game impact from a player who was completely new to Japan go to war in 1940, and even though people are like, oh, he capitulated, he lost, but the damage he did and the distraction he made against the Allies it gave a lot of game impact to our side, to the Axis. people tend to think that if you die, you failed at Hoi 4, but actually some nations are meant to die in or meant to capitulate in Hoi 4, when in fact it's more about the damage you do before capitulation. For example, France. The holding France strat doesn't really work against a competent Germany, especially with a heavy tank meta, and even if the Allies go heavy into air, you're putting all your eggs in one basket trying to make a tank France. Whereas if you went for, say, like my Roach build, yes, you are going to lose eventually, but you've turned the little speed bump, the all or nothing speed bump of France, into a great big speed bump. And the way I see it, if you can survive to about March, April time 1940 as France, you have done significantly well. And then if you hold even longer in North Africa, you are also doing really, really well. Because what you're doing is you're splitting the German tank force, and of course Germany's, once 1939 kicks in, Germany's on a hard time limit. They need to finish up France and North Africa before Barbarossa. So the longer you can hold before Barbarossa, the better. And that means, of course, the German tanks not only have to deal with the Suez, but also come back and deal with you in case the US player sends any tanks or any planes or anything to counterattack and take North Africa. Also, by doing that sort of Roach build, you have a ton of manpower, a ton of equipment you can convert into Marines, which is really good. But I've done my talking for about a solid 12 minutes, and we still haven't found anyone. I think we will just play the level and see how far we get, and wait until new boys join.
Let's move.
Okay, this is. Oh, we know. This is going to be unbearable.
Recruiting new personnel.
Yeah, even if they had to force people to join.
They're already doing that.
Destroy the teleportation ships with the hooligan cannons. Hooligan cannons firing in 3,
I fucked up.
1.
Teleportation ship successfully destroyed.
So that's the hooligan cannon? Directly penetrated the enemy ship's armor! Ground units, move in. Shoot down the teleportation ship.
Fire at the teleportation ships.
Hey, I'm already not in a good spot. I could do this as a wing diver, I think.
Be careful on the left.
Hooligan cannon, fire!
Teleportation ship destroyed.
There we go. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. I can see how in Inferno you must be an absolute god at this game. Or you have to have you have an awful lot of media armor. No, these hooligan cannons are pretty dank. Keep forgetting you can jump boost in the air as well. No. Okay. Just keep doing this on delay, on delay. So far so good, boys. Maybe I'm really good. Onto a good thing. Okay. Next hooligan cannon, I suppose. This new jackhammer M2 is really doing a carry. So you at me? Okay, now we got problems. Let me up. Okay, and now jump, and jump, and jump. And jump, and jump, and jump. There we go. Damn, I'm good. Now I've got to deal with the bees.
Hooligan cannon, open fire. Enemy ship destroyed.
Okay. I think I have indeed gotten better at this game.
Stage and can fire consecutively. We have to
Before I was just getting slapped around.
It's our turn to take care of the rest. Advance.
Okay, so who we got left to deal with? Let's get some health first.
We have confirmed that the mysterious monster Arculus, whose whereabouts was previously unknown, is around the combat area.
Oh, let's say. I don't think I'll be able to get up there to kill this bad boy. One, two. Yeah, not a chance. Not a chance. Now's not the time for a cutscene. I've got things to do.
Why is it here? Was it attracted by those monsters? Attack Arculus. Don't let it pass.
Yes, attack Arculus. Well, I've got bigger fish to fry right now. I've got to kill this thing before
We can't let it escape.
more spawn. Okay. Now I will deal with Arculus. By deal, I mean kite. Ah! Somehow we've been able to aggro half the map. Don't know how. Haven't got time for this, please. Ugh. I wonder, can he friendly fire? Mistakes were made. Awful mistakes were made. Jesus. Almost, almost. Jesus Christ, stop chasing me. You know what? I'm tempted just to try and focus this boy down. Almost, one B left. Damn you. Damn you bees. I need you guys to jump away. You. Ouch. Thank you. Is that all the bees dealt with? I hope so. I'm going away for a little while. I'll be back, I promise. Okay. That's giving me a lot of room to maneuver. He said. God, these bees are unbearable.
Arculus got hit. The attack seemed to work.
Fell down. Not too bad, not too bad. Like how there's an ant crawling on the dude. Must be very irritating for him. I'm done with you, ant. Oh, come on. Come on now. Game. Why game? I was doing so well. I'd kited all these guys as well. I'd done some high level kiting. Let's keep going. Oh, wait. Let's retreat and try it with the wing diver. Try it with the wing brew. I think wing diver would be alright with this level as well.
Let's move.
Rapier, M2, Gleipnir, V2 Plasma. Yes. Oh, bro.
Let's move.
There you go, bro. Okay, here we got a new contender has arrived. A Shrimpman Prime. Who has come to our rescue. And are my Twitch, is the Twitch ever dying? No, not yet. Give it time though. Twitch is renowned for having awful. Actually, I know what I do before I start a stream. Is I check my which server is the best at the start of the stream, and normally it's London free, but sometimes it is not London free. It is everything else. Could be something like Frankfurt, for Christ's sake.
Hooligan cannons firing in 3, 2.
Worst case scenario, we'll do another record. And
Teleportation ship successfully destroyed.
continue.
So that's the hooligan cannon? Directly penetrated the enemy ship's armor. Ground units, move in. Shoot down the teleportation ships.
I like how they use a Hooligan cannon for only like one or two ships, and it's like, okay, we're done now. Carry on.
Neutralized.
Welcome back, Dual Threat. I do apologise for the cutouts, but as you know, the Twitch servers are a fickle mistress.
Teleportation ship destroyed.
And it always appears around this time as well. Yeah, you can say trash. Literally trash. Like, I actually have to do a Twitch test before I start streaming. I've got to do it now because it's like it seems like some servers trap themselves for at random intervals. It's awful. It's absolutely awful. Yeah, they do not like us Europeans in the slightest. Do not like us Europeans in the slightest. But hey ho, it is what it is. Yes, it is the jackhammer. One of the EDF experts showed me a new technique called the jump cancel or something like that, and apparently using the jackhammer and the shotgun, you can just become an absolute god, which I am inclined to agree with. Yeah, it is pretty based and fence appealed. Yeah, we are. Yeah, apart from sometimes where I die horribly because I screw up my rhythm. Because you've got to have a really good rhythm to jump around as quickly as possible.
Enemy ship destroyed.
And if you mess up, then you end up doing this, which of course is really slow. You just die. It's like, oh, one, you just die. Whereas if you do it just right like this, you suddenly become a god. Oh, I screwed that one up.
We have confirmed that the mysterious monster Arculus, whose
Yeah, because so it's
combat area.
high risk, high reward strat. Basically, the idea is that you sort of dash through them while firing, and then turn around, wait until they get into a big old line, and then go do it again. But if you mess up once, it can be really painful. But it is going pretty well. What level am I on? I think I'm like on level 50 or 60 now, so soon I think I'm just about the halfway point to ending the game, which is a thankful thing.
Was it attracted by those monsters?
And plus it does so much damage to these big boys if you can get in close.
Attack Arculus. Don't let it pass.
It's sent out bees.
Fire at Arculus! We can't let it escape unharmed.
Yeah, it does get into it. I mean, and this is even like the most specific rim it can be. Way into the later levels where you've got like massive metal Gundams the size of skyscrapers fighting it out. It goes to the absurd quite quickly, but it's absurd in a fun way. You know, it doesn't. The game does not take itself seriously, which is nice. And that's one of the beauties of this game, is the fact that it can just get more and more ridiculous and just keep raising the stakes to ridiculous levels. I didn't watch Pacific Rim, I'll be honest with you. I did not watch Pacific Rim. but it felt too much like what do you call it? A Godzilla rip-off, you know. So I felt like it's just like Godzilla but with metal robots. And I'm not really a Godzilla giant monster fan, anyway. So it's not really, I'm not a rip-off, but you know what I mean. It's that same genre which I didn't particularly like. I only watched the first Godzilla. I didn't watch the other two. Or the other one, which I actually thought was pretty good. I watched it in the cinema. It was actually really good, especially when Godzilla does the laser beam towards the end. It's like, oh, that's pretty based. But how they made Godzilla look like some sort of humanity's guardian, I also thought was pretty weird. I mean, I don't really know the Godzilla lore. Is Godzilla supposed to be humanity's guardian? But I thought it was quite. I did like the first Godzilla. I haven't watched the second one, so I can't have an opinion. Now, I also liked King Kong Skull Island, but apparently everyone hated it. But I actually quite liked King Kong Skull Island because I like the Vietnam sort of the Vietnam style of it. Especially when they fly into Kong and they're just destroying it, and you've got Samuel L. Jackson that's going completely mad, going, I'm gonna go kill this thing.
It'll be the greatest victory in history if we eliminate Archelaus. You'll get more than a Medal of Honor.
Sure, I'll be your friend. Just pay me excessive amounts of money. I'm willing to sell my friendship. I've watched the Kong movies already. I'll see, because I may look at the Godzilla. I may look at the Godzilla films. It depends if I'm bored, you know. Depends if I'm bored and I've got nothing else to watch. And if it's not on Amazon. Oh, that's pissing me off. Stop rolling around. Can I get up? Yeah, I saw the Kong Skull Island, but I did not see New Godzilla. But I may watch it if I've got nothing else better to do or anything else to watch. Right now, I'm binge watching older horror films in Prime, but as you well know, they're not particularly good. I like watching what do you call it, Found Flicks, because he talks about the latest horror films that are out, and it's actually quite enjoyable. Because sometimes I was like, I don't really want to watch the whole film. I just want a basic synopsis of it to see if I would enjoy something like it. And I think he does a really good job. That's one of my boy YouTubes I watch.
Archelaus, humankind's biggest enemy. It's finally going down.
Is it going down? It doesn't look like it. Don't run from me. I'm very slow, I can't catch up. Are you running? Why are you running? He's running. You can't run from me. Okay, maybe you can.
Archelaus escaped.
I see. I have not actually. I did play one of the Monster Hunters, but I didn't get very far. It was like years and years back. Now I have seen that Monster Hunter is out on Steam, or Monster Hunter World. But it's one of those games you need a co-op with. I think. You need 4 players to, or at least a few friends to play it.
Shit.
I think the last Monster Hunter I played was on the PSP, and It was okay, but it seems like there's so much. Yeah, it seems like there's so many options in it that you get drowned in it, especially if you're a new player. And because it's got that sort of Asian UI, sort of Japanese style to it, you just feel like drowned. Like, so what do I do here? Okay, this armor, this that. Yeah, I know there's a Monster Hunter World. I've seen that. It may be once one of it. I may attempt to play that, see if I like it or not. But we will see. But I do like Monster Hunter World. I've watched it on YouTube a few times. But the monsters do seem very, very grindy. I reckon I'd probably go for like a ranger build or use like a heavy duty rifle or something like that to grind with. And again, it's one of those games that's really grindy. Yeah, death by grind. It seems like a lot of these Japanese games are very death by grindy. Like Final Fantasy, EDF, if you want to do the harder difficulties, Monster Hunter. It's like, why do you want me to grind so much? Monster Hunter is one of those games which you sort of fall into and spend ages learning it and really love the franchise, or you get gatekept by how complex it is. And yes, people can say it's not very complex, you just whack the monsters and they die, but of course there's so many variables: poison, sleep, different monsters have different strengths and weaknesses, and so on and so on and so on. Oh, a new enemy.
We still don't know what these monsters are capable of. Be cautious.
It's one of those games I'd like to get good at.
They want to run us over.
These monsters don't scare me too much. I'm going to retreat with these guys. I'm going to retreat with this dude. Yeah, especially the high level monsters. The high level monsters are pretty intense by the looks of it. I like it. I like the stagger mechanic. I like it when you get to a certain stage in those games where you just become nothing but an absolute god, and you find these massive monsters and you one hit them and you just stagger them or knock them to the floor. That's what I liked about the first Dark Souls, is that the bosses had stagger. So if you built your build right and like hit a boss, you could like really mess it up. I like that. I like that. Like when two titans are going at it, or you are like a titan yourself and you're absolutely smashing about this babby monster. But I think the payoff of my tip my hats to Monster Hunter players. You certainly know your stuff. I like the Dark Souls. I played it back when I was a kid. Dark Souls 1, 2, and then of course 3 once it came out, and I loved it. Every single one. Managed to complete every single one as well, really. But I think I had to use spirits. I had to use what do you call it? Co-op, jolly co-op.
Protect the civilians.
We're in advance.
This is the new monster species.
Oh, how cute.
Oh no, wheels.
They seem slow. This new
What does wheels remind you of?
big deal.
Wheels. What else spins? A Valve? Who owns Valve? Steam? What is Steam responsible for?
We still don't know
Half-Life?
what these monsters are
When's
capable
Half-Life 3? Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Get in range. They curled up into a bull.
There you go.
Rolling towards us.
Call me Gaming on. But Bloodborne looks like a completely different game to me. I don't think I do very well in Bloodborne. I do very well in Dark Souls because of course we've got the iframes and it's all about like just know when to roll. But Bloodborne looks like an entire different beast. Hi there, little wood lice. Would you like to be my friend? Oh fuck!
Teleportation ship is starting to move.
Okay. I can see how these guys could become a nuisance.
2 teleportation ships are approaching.
Okay, I'll see if I'll add that to one of my lists. What I need to do is finish off EDF 5, and then I need to maybe do EDF 4 as well. I'm not sure yet, but once I've made a decision, I will I'll have to play something during the weekdays. So if I am looking for a game to play during the weekdays, look at this chat. 1 second. Based.
Teleportation ships are dropping down monsters.
The guys found a new OP meta.
What's that sound? So, watch out. Sir, yes, sir.
Oh, it is as well. Man knows his stuff.
The opponents are
Can't you just climb on the roof? No, I don't. I think these guys can fly, so I don't think you can climb on the roof. But I won't play this on Inferno difficulty. I think once I've played it once, otherwise you end up getting to that grind sort of mentality. Here's the weakness with these bad boys. These guys can hit you when you're on the ground. So these guys can actually be quite dangerous.
like a bowling pin right now.
3 teleportation ships are approaching.
I may actually go back to the flower shop. You're pretty good. Oh dear. Okay, let's check the old Twitch test.
Neutralize. Let's go for the next enemy.
Let's check this bad boy again. So Europe, start test. And by the time that test is done, I'll finish the mission, and I will see if it's worth changing to a different server. It wouldn't surprise me if they put like the server sort of maintenance in American time. That would be yeah. So in OBS, if you go to the advanced settings, you can change which server you stream off of, because sometimes certain servers will die, or yeah, or basically die for whatever reason. And so what you can do is switch to a different server, a server that hasn't died, and continue to stream without dying inside yourself.
Government announcement. Many civilians have become Minutemen to join the fight against aliens.
Streamlabs OBS. But you've got to do it via the advanced settings, you can't do it via the basic settings.
Will share the same benefits of that of regular EDF soldiers. But with privileges come new responsibilities. For details, please refer to the PR department.
Yeah, I would install, there's a bit of software called Twitch Test, which you download, and then what it'll do is if you put your stream key in there, it will then ping to those different servers and tell you what the quality is, and how many kilobytes per second you can ping out. Now I've done this myself, so if you end up getting scammed, I'm also getting scammed as well. So I see this is not hopefully this is hopefully not a loose bait to steal your stream key. But yeah, that's what I use now. Initially I was quite scared about using it, but everyone seems to recommend it. So I got Twitch tests just because I was playing Grand Tactician, and for some reason my internet connection was perfectly fine, but I could not maintain a steady stream, and I was breaking. I was like, what on earth is going on here, guys? So I downloaded Twitch test because I was on my wit's end, and it turns out the European servers were just completely crapped out. That's why I had to move to an American server. But you'd think Twitch would tell you, like, oh yes, you be careful about this server, it's pretty crap right now. But apparently not. It's just like, yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, bro. but that's what I use. So that's what I now use it at the start of the stream to see, okay, what's my quality like? Like for example, right now the Twitch server for Paris, France has failed. It's just completely dead. Of course, it could just be dead from my end, but it's got garbage. And all the rest of the quality of these servers, around about 80%, 79%, not good at all. I'm still working up Amsterdam and London, but yeah, it's a good combat indicator of the health of each server. So sometimes if your stream's crapping itself, it's not your end, it's Twitch's end. Hentai has selected mission preparations. Okay, okay. Whatever floats your boat. I like Twitch because of how easy it is. Really, I mean YouTube is also pretty easy, but now I've already sort of committed. I'd have to like uninstall Streamlabs, reinstall it and to get YouTube on it, and then play around with my settings again, play around with my output rates and my stream key. And plus, I've already committed now. I've already got 51 followers here, so I wouldn't bother changing. Now I just upload my stuff to YouTube.
Don't underestimate them.
And signpost them saying, okay, if you want to watch the streams, just come to Twitch. This is what I got stuck on. This was the mission I got absolutely stuck on because yeah, it's awful. But I don't want to pay money to use Streamlabs.
Confirmed to the enemy's landing ship.
Don't shoot. Oh, necessary sound. Good job.
I don't want to do it, bro.
Those aliens look
Okay, what we got?
disgusting at night. The enemy didn't notice us.
Let's look at Twitch. Yeah, all the servers are crap.
Shoot!
Bring it on.
It's literally all the servers.
Yes, sir.
The circuit burned out. Repair it now.
Yeah, pricey. Especially if I'm just doing this casually. If I was maybe trying to make money off it, or was in the was attempting to cash in on streaming, then I would use it. But because it's part time, I don't intend to stream professionally. I wouldn't spend money on it. Would not spend money on it. But again, if you're trying to get as many, if you're trying to get as much attention as possible, then yeah, I would stream on as many sites as possible. Yeah, this mission I got really stuck on, but because these guys seem to be really good, so I'm just sort of dancing around and they're sort of doing everything for me.
An enemy landing ship has appeared in the sky.
Yeah, but I think YouTube has great opportunity to beat Twitch. Facebook is not really known as like Facebook has tried to get into the gaming market with like VR and that, but the VR didn't really do very well. Doctors didn't do very well. Let's be honest. It didn't really become the next big thing, or it hasn't yet. But and it's not really known for gaming as YouTube. It did have YouTube, video game videos and clips and that. But it just did not do the streaming, it's a late player, but it's got the resources to do it. So yeah, I do see YouTube streaming has a greater chance of success.
The circuit burned out. Repair it now.
But I would just like, if I was doing this properly, I would just probably just leave Twitch right now because I'm so fed up with the Twitch servers. I'm like, yeah, I'm done here. Also, you can tell I'm not playing professionally because I'm playing some ridiculously abstract game like EDF. Like I'm not trying to cash in on the Among Us or what you got the Battle Royale or the Call of Duty market.
The creator of this weapon must be a genius.
Also, I love my job right now. I actually quite really like my job, so maybe if I could no longer do my job, then if I got sacked or something, then I'd give it a go.
Landing ship spotted up high.
I also would not be streaming from a laptop. I would be spending money on a high-end bit of kit. I should not have tried to YOLO that. Oh well, let's check the... yeah. Okay, which is the best quality for the stream? Norway Oslo apparently has got better quality than 82. France Marseille. Okay boys, I'm going to end the stream and we're going to go to France Marseille. I'll be back in a sec.